crazies out of the government. We need our Congress for everyone's benefit. The 1%, they just take what they like. We've got to show up and vote for our rights. So vote in November. Vote, a time to remember. Vote, don't be late. Vote, don't procrastinate. It's our country.
How y'all doing, baby? This is our country.
Our
Our democracy. Oh, look at there. There's always something. There's always something I forget. Shit, yeah. John's brain doesn't
We
always
can't
work
afford
the way it's supposed to be. I hope y'all are having a fine day. If you're not, I hope it's getting a lot better. Anyway, baby, it is Tuesday, and it's time for another Blue Dot family meeting, baby. Yeah, we can't afford not to do something. We got to do. Let me get this shit straight here. Get y'all back up here. See who jumped in the room first. And that would be, boy, we got a full house tonight, baby. The Remixtress was the first one to jump in, baby. I'm so glad you're here. Gary Spring up in Canada, thank you very much. Look at the trees, baby. Seriously. Take a look at the trees. Make your heart feel better. Jesse Ramirez is here. Thank you very much. Michael Johnson. Bart Larson's here, and Debbie Marie. Adina Michael's here. Let me see. Jeanette Miller, Carolyn, and John Matjesco, thank you very much for being here. Bruce, I got your letter. I haven't read it yet, but I got it. I got it. It's just hard to see on my thing there. Anyway, Bruce Preston, Jeff Curry, Deborah Douglas is here. Bart Larson, Jay Clayton, and Stephanie are both there listening. Thank you very much, baby. And the romance, look at their hard guitar. What's that? Hey, family show here. Randy Peterson, woo pig. Buddy, glad you're here. Gary Spring. Oh, so Leanne Geyer is here. Bart Larson. Josie Marquise, thank you for being here. That smart-ass squaw is here, thank goodness. Michael Falbister. Let me jump on down here. BW is here. James Cooper. Miss Linda, a.k.a. Mary Ellen. Nancy Halverson. How y'all doing, baby? And I know I seen Joe in there, Ohio Dad 70. I know you're in there. Thank you, brother, for being here. I hope Steve's okay. Hope everything's all right in your life, brother. Anyway, what's going on? Well, shit. Been tied up all day. Made a trip to the dump. Went all the way to Corpus. Had to take care of some business. So I've been gone most of the day. So what I'm relying on my little mind here, I did a little video earlier tapping into this, is while I was watching news last night, talking about Ye acquiring Parler, artist formerly known as, what's his name? Anyway, but they were talking about Parler, Gab, and other right-wing Trump truth things, shit, and the content that's going on in the chats and whatnot. And they were saying how much that the words Civil War keep coming up. And boy, howdy shit, if I didn't read that, then just a little while ago I was seeing messages within the management team of John Bernavaux Speaks Blue Dot Family over there on Facebook. And if you have not gone over there to check that site out, please do. Come join the family over there, John Bernavaux Speaks Blue Dot Family. No, I didn't pick the name, but I'm flattered by it. About a necklace. This shit gets scary. I'm a little off the walls here, but who is that? Yay, who? Anyway, it was about the necklace, and I did notice that necklace. I didn't know what it was. I just, it was hanging there on his tie. I'm talking about Herschel Walker during his debate, and he had this little necklace up there before he pulled out his Jack Crackerbox badge there to show everybody that he's a law enforcement. I did notice that. And it was reported today, or it's in the news a little bit, about what that necklace was, because it looked a little odd, and evidently it was the archangel or some kind of emblem that signifies the bad angels, I guess. The one, God sent down 2 angels to check out Sodom and Gomorrah and destroyed them. That kind of angel, guys that come down here and destroy everything and get revenge for your sinful ways. And that's what he was wearing in the discussion that created. I'm looking forward into reading more. It's going on right now over there on JBS. And so I want to poke into that. And then right before came on, I got a message from Tammy Ames about the sanctions against China. And the sanctions that Joe Biden put on are such that it's going to impact their chip availability for chips, and they go in everything. Chips go in your toaster, they go in your car, they go in your washing machine, they go on everything. Computer chips are highly sought after in weapon systems and everything. And we're cutting them off, evidently, and on a drastic mode. And it's going to do big damage to their industry. So there are things happening, I guess, on the back burner over there that I don't get to see. But I don't know. I just have this overwhelming faith in Joe Biden guiding this country right now. And the main theme when I did my video earlier was the fact that this democracy only survives because of the participation of its citizens. That's it. It's the only reason we've made it 240 some odd years is because we all participated in it. Well, never has there been a time more important than now for all of us to participate, for you to encourage as many people as you can to participate in this democracy, because it is under attack. And it's not going to be as easy as it has in the past. We're going to come up upon this election. We already know that there's a shitload of election deniers running across the country. And if they don't win, well, what do you think they're going to say? The lady Carrie Lake out there in Arizona made it very plain. If she wins, she accepts that. If she loses, no, she's not accepting that loss. So there's a disconnect in the moral fabric of our country. It's being tattered a bit by people who would just throw it to the dirt and tread all over it in their seek for power. But we are the bulwark against that. We're what stands up against that. So I can't stress it enough. It's what my whole show has been about for 4 years, 6 years, I'm sorry. And that is to participate, to be a part of this discussion, to know what's going on in our country, because all of our lives depend on it. Anyway, I'm rambling. I was busy all day today. David, how are you?
Got my flu shot today.
Outstanding. See, there you go. You beat me. I was in the pharmacy today and did not get it. I should have took the time to do it, but I didn't. I'll get it.
We don't need to have the flu into what else you're dealing with.
No. Yeah, it's getting a little thick around here. Donnie Boy's coming to my neighborhood. I thought he was going to be here last night.
I saw your video about that.
I screwed up big time. When I went to go check the story, I said, oh, shit. And I read tonight at 7 o'clock is what the line I saw. And I didn't pursue it any more than that. I got into my head. I went and did my rant, and then I'm coming back out here. And then I'm flipping through, and I saw the word Saturday. So Saturday? Wait a minute. And I went to go check it up. Fuck. It's the first time I made a serious mistake on a video like that. He's going to be here on this coming Saturday.
You'd ruin your one day off.
My one day. That's it.
One day. What do you take?
Yeah,
He's got to show up.
It's concerning. I don't, if he shows up, yeah, indeed. I don't know why he picked Corpus Christi. I mean, not Corpus Christi. He didn't pick Corpus Christi. He picked Robstown. Corpus Christi's right down the road, probably about 20 miles away.
He doesn't play well in big cities.
No. And they have the American Bank Center here in Corpus Christi, which is a beautiful venue, lots of room, big room, and I think that's it. He'd rather go to the fairgrounds where it's a little smaller area. That way the crowd will just look bigger. It'll
Looks
be
bigger,
a packed
and
room.
I'm only worried about it for one reason.
What's that?
I hope it doesn't activate the people around you.
Yeah, that's too late.
Too late.
Too late.
God.
Too late. Getting ready, baby. I'm telling you. It's
Psychic powers are worthless.
It is. It's but we will be
Well,
on, we'll be on high alert around here for sure.
What gets me lately is there, and this is maggots all over the place. It's not just restricted to dumbass Donnie. They're violence. They're calling for violence every direction I turn anymore.
Yes.
Well, that's a call for violence against me.
Yes.
And you.
Well, when they talk about the Civil War, I was trying to guess at how this works because it's not north and south. There's no demarcation line there that we can point to. There's Republicans, Democrats all over. It's not going to be east against west or, whatever. So it narrows down to it's going to be what? Neighbor against neighbor? Is that what they're talking about?
And they're talking about terrorists.
Yes.
They're talking about terrorism.
They're talking about murder.
Talking about insurgency.
They can call it
bombings,
whatever they want, but it would be mass shootings. That's what they're talking about.
On soft targets, on targets they could easily handle.
Right. Mwah. That's what worries you. So where are we? Where are we at in this discussion? Because it's disconcerting.
And do you think the world's going to sit back and do nothing while nuclear power goes to civil war?
No.
I swear to God, these people.
Talk about opportunity knocks. Hell. I can swear, if that were to happen, I'm sure Putin would just be tickled to death. Anyway, it's rough. It's rough. And my concern is it's going to get rougher because it's not going to be.
It all comes down to a couple of weeks from now.
Yeah.
Got my ballot ready to go and going to get that mailed off this week. I wish there was more I could do in states that really need it.
Yeah, don't you wish you could go around and vote all over the place? That's what they think we do anyway. It's for the first time. Normally, I like to vote on voting day, and I like to go down there and strut my shit in there. But I'm thinking about voting early this time. Go down to the courthouse and get my stuff done.
Considering you're in one of the areas where they've threatened to keep watchers on the polls.
Yeah, I don't want.
And they've threatened them to be armed.
Yeah. My wife is already too concerned already. We don't need to go down that kind of role. So, yeah, I think I might go in there and do my stuff early. DJ, how are you, my friend?
I'm doing well, John. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I was having trouble hearing you for a while there, but I'm doing fine.
Good.
I wanted to tell you about something.
What's that?
I'm now putting TikTok videos out, and you have to search for me as Daniel, Daniel, Mosley, 62 on TikTok. But I'm putting the videos out under the guise of JC, St. Louis, Missouri's oldest living hippie.
That's you.
And that's me. And I'm talking about music, about how I used to hang around with Dwayne Allman, with the Allman Brothers, and how I met Janis Joplin and things like that.
Hey,
so I just
back up the bus. You met Janis Joplin?
Videos and talk about music history, and then I get some politics and religion in there too.
Well, boy, howdy.
But I just do it in a casual way without a script.
Good.
Can I say a couple things about what you just talked about in your beginning?
What's that?
I read that China is doing something with natural gas where they are stopping what they were doing was reselling the natural gas in Europe at a much higher price and making a hell of a profit. But now they have come out and said, okay, all shipments now are going to stay here for the winter. We need this gas for ourselves for the winter. And so they're not going to sell any more to Europe. Well, guess where they're getting that natural gas from?
Russia.
Us. Okay.
Oh, us.
That they've been reselling to Europe
That's
with
where
a
they're
high,
get it from
higher markup.
Really?
Go ahead, John.
No, I was just guessing at what you were saying, but I was wrong. So.
Yeah, well, what they're saying on the internet is, maybe it's for the winter, but maybe it's because they're expecting a war. Okay, I don't know if that's true, but that's what they're saying on the internet, that they're going to stock up in case the supply dries up if we get into a war. And I don't know. That's just a rumor. That's just what people are talking about. So don't get scared.
No. We all have to be concerned with that. Not only us, but the whole world needs to be concerned about global politics right now. It is not a good
No,
place to be
no, it's
right
not.
now in the world. Not
And what
only
you were
with
talking about with the sanctions, I mean,
yeah.
China's got to be really upset with the
Yeah,
United
I
States.
just got that from Tammy Ames a little while ago, and it was I don't have my thing in here. I keep my phone out of here when I'm on the air. It was us cutting off their supply of either chips itself or the material used to make chips.
Well, we're moving all the chip production back to the United States.
Well,
That's what we're
there
doing.
was reports coming out of Russia that they're getting chips out of microwave ovens, washing machines, anywhere they could find them. They're
I believe it. I
yeah,
believe it.
yeah.
Right now, well, people wait 6 or 8 months for a new car, and the reason is the chips that go in the car. They can't buy them anywhere.
Leanne Geyer just said, shouldn't we be saving natural gas for us? You would think
Yes,
so.
we should.
Good old American oil and gas, baby. It's ours, and it's sold on the open market just like everybody else's. That's what. So they're when they start singing the Star Spangled Banner about oil and gas, American oil and gas, yeah, that's bullshit. Take a look at what ExxonMobil's doing to you right now, baby. And there's a whole lot of people, as ignorant as it is, are going to base their vote on the price of gas. Well, if it goes up, I'll vote Republican. If it goes down, I might vote Democrat. Really? Yeah. That's how you vote on democracy, is how much you're going to pay for fucking gas? Kiss off. That's what I got to say to that shit. Because it can be manipulated. And it is being manipulated by the oil and gas companies, who, by the way, just make a shitload of money under Republicans. Just a coincidence, I'm sure. But on the global stage, John, this is not good, baby.
John, the other thing that I wanted to mention before I forget it, at my age, I forget things really easy.
Yeah, tell me about
it. Is you're talking about Trump and his Corpus Christi appearance, and that he's going to be at a fairground.
Yep.
Well, one of the reasons that this is happening is because, at least what I read, I don't trust anything I read now. Basically, is because the company that pays for these appearances and sets them up has failed to pay for several of the venues that they've been in.
Their venues are wanting their money up front.
Right. And so if they don't get it, then he's ended up at fairgrounds instead of in that fancy auditorium that you were talking about.
Evidently, he couldn't pay the price. Yeah, it's a fairly good size area out there. It's small enough that the inside, if you go to film the inside, there'll probably be enough people to fill it up. And there might be some people hanging around outside, so it'll look like it's an overflow crowd.
Are you going to go?
I am very heavily being lobbied not to. John's first inclination is, oh, hell yes, put my all gave some gave all, one had bone spurs shirt, which is my favorite shirt to wear around them assholes, and go.
Well, put a bulletproof vest on, please. Underneath your shirt.
My wife and my son and everybody else is telling me, no, you don't need to be going out there. You're going to get into some shit, and they're probably right.
Well, I'll say one last thing, and then I'll let David talk or somebody else. That is, we are going to a civil war. I'm convinced of it. There's no way around it. We are going to end up in a civil war.
But what does that look like?
Certain areas, I'm sorry, repeat that.
What does that look like? A civil war?
Well, it looks to me like I'm seeing all kinds of people that are calling for violence, just like you are on the internet. And to me, it's going to be basically brother against brother. It's going to be people shooting at people that they don't know whether they're supporting Trump or supporting Biden. Because how do we tell who's who if we have a civil war?
I don't think so. I don't think
so. Well, I hope you're right. I'm telling you, I hope you're right. But I'm just so convinced.
If an event like that happens anywhere, what is going to happen? If all of a sudden there's a shooting going on, well, the police are going to be called. Somebody's going to call the police. What are the police going to do? They're going to come. Not everybody on the police force is a Republican. Not every one of them. So, they're going to come. And they're going to try to contain the situation as much as possible, I guess. And I don't know where it goes from there. But if you're talking about a civil war in that respect, then it's just going to be a series of mass shootings all over the country on the same day.
That may be true, and it may be go on. It goes on for a while. I don't know. But the thing about
and then
it
what?
is,
And then what? Did they come in and just
well,
take my body out of the house and just pick some Republican and go, okay, you can have this place?
well,
You know?
I hope not. What I was thinking about it is that, because right now I read an article about how there's no red states and no blue states anymore. That Trump supporters are in every state and Biden supporters are in every state.
Every state.
And so if this all breaks out, it's not going to be in the South. It's not going to be isolated. It's going to be in states all over the United States where there's going to be these small factions you're talking about.
It is
But
still
the
an
worst case
infinite.
scenario, in my mind, is if the police and the National Guard who support Trump leave and go over to their side, then we're in big trouble.
Leave and
I'm not saying that's going to happen. But
that's the part I don't
trouble.
understand. Leave and go to their side. Where are they going to go?
First of all,
look at the was it the CIA? All those people, CIA, FBI, or something. Oh, the FBI. They're upset because these people that are being arrested for January 6th are getting good sentences and being put in jail. And these FBI people that in the article I read about today, they blatantly said they don't think that they should be getting put in jail for what they did. So there's people in the FBI, CIA that might leave and go over to Trump's side.
I believe that.
This could be wholesale exit.
There are problems within the services. They already talking about that. Secret Service knew well in advance about January 6th. There wasn't enough done to do to stop it. So there are a whole lot of questions. So we're not only questioning Trump, we're questioning. I mean, we have to clean his house and our house, baby. We have to go through every department. If they're in the FBI, we have to weed them out. If they're in the CIA, we need to get their ass out of there. Whoever, if they're in the Secret Service, if you were more dedicated to the man than you were the office, then fuck you, get out. And that's what they're going to have to do is clean that house. David, you were going to say something?
Yeah, go ahead, David. I'm sorry.
The Republican Party right now hovers between 28 and 29% of the country. Democrats are slightly more at about 30%. The maggots are a fraction of that. Let's call it 30%. Let's round up, give them the numbers. So they're about 25% of that 30% of the maggots that would actually pick up arms.
Now
they constantly are claiming they have bigger numbers than they really do, which is, by the way, something
they like to lie about the size, right?
Yeah. They follow their leader. They brag about the size of things that aren't really that big.
Not that big.
It could be violence. There could be innocent people killed, but I would guess it wouldn't last more than a day or two because the bottom line is, how does a nuclear power go to civil war?
Indeed.
What does that look like? That looks like an insurgency, doesn't it? It's about the only thing they can do.
That's it.
Well, organize smaller numbers against larger numbers. They don't have near the equipment. And the fact is, we, for the most part, our intelligence agency already knows who they are. It would just simply be a matter of going to where they are and either arresting them or if they want to do the firefight
thing, then that's what we do.
And what do you think about?
Look at how well that turned out for the Branch Davidians down in Waco.
Not too good. Not too good. Not that was
Ruby Ridge.
What's her name did that?
Well, Jan Reno ended up taking the responsibility for it.
She really went after him. Yeah.
They were primed to commit suicide. Well,
there was going to be no dealing with the Branch Davidians inside that.
That's a cult.
That they were either going to win or they were going to die. That's it. Period.
Yeah, that's a cult. Well, John, didn't you say that MAGA is a cult and Trump is a cult?
It is. Doesn't it fit every description of a cult? That the truth or anything that cannot save your ass, it's all what the glorious leader says.
And the leader's never wrong.
That's what they're into. The glorious leader. And that's what he wants. Have no doubt. He wants to be Kim Jong-un in America. He wants us all to stand up and just clap like crazy when he enters the room. Tell me
what I don't understand about the maggots, John, is that how can they look at the way the people in North Korea live and go, that's what I want? How? If he wants to be Kim Jong-un, I want to be one of the people of North Korea. And I'm sitting here going, have you examined how they live?
Yes. Have you taken a look at this shit?
But he wants to build a Trump Tower there.
He does. Let me thank Keith Thompson for coming in with $2 and said, build American jobs, solar, wind, and reuse. Baby, we can do this shit. Thank you, Keith.
Yeah.
My buddy Keith Thompson up in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Hoorah. We can. We can. And we, to a certain degree have been working towards that. I'm glad to see it's picking up more steam. I'm glad to see around my house that there are more wind turbines.
Oh, absolutely.
Sparky would jump my ass.
There are a lot up in Michigan. When I drive up to my house up there, there's wind turbines in all the farmers' fields.
They are getting more and more prevalent. Solar farms, we're moving towards that direction, but we have a long way to go before we get off oil and gas. A long way. Because people associate it mostly with gasoline, but believe me, petroleum and petroleum products are in a lot of the products you use. Let me get Johnny Fly in here. Are you there, Johnny? Hey, wait a minute. You raised your hand. I brought you in here, and now you're not going to say anything. Really? You're going to chump?
Hello, John.
Johnny Fly.
I don't know if he can hear us.
I don't think he can hear it.
He doesn't look muted or anything.
No, he's just playing.
David, what do you think about the possibility of Russia using nukes in the Ukraine and what we might do about it or have to face up to it?
It's bluster on their part. As long as they're not they're not in the danger of losing their mainland country, they don't use nukes. They know exactly what the price of that is. And if you look historically, going way back to when they were fighting in Lithuania in some of the areas, they've always threatened this nuclear threat. It's ultimately they know the results of that. They've known it for years.
If they start tossing nukes around, I'm going to Australia. I'm going to see Dave.
Chernobyl is still hot.
Chernobyl wasn't a nuclear attack, though. It was
it was a meltdown.
Yes, it was.
And you know what? They built a giant hood that they have on tracks on wheels that now they're going to roll that in place over it and then enclose it so that reactor is totally enclosed in a shield that won't let the radiation out. And Chernobyl, the sad thing about it is everybody that worked there, including the workers, the press, the soldiers, everybody who worked there practically, probably 95% of them came down with some form of cancer in later years. So what I'm getting to by that is if they did use nukes, they're going to make that ground useless for a long time.
All of us.
Hello,
Johnny Fly. How are you, bub?
I'm doing good. Hey, sorry about that. I had too much, I guess, the windows open, and I got a message saying that my microphone wasn't working, so I thought I better shut them all, and now I'm on. Hey, I wanted to let you know I got my election ballot. I posted it on
Outstanding, Johnny Fly. Good deal. So you got your vote in?
Yeah. I'm gonna send it out tomorrow. I run it up. So it's great it came in. It's gonna be an interesting election year. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
Who is it that Miss Lake, sang
Carrie Lake.
Carrie Lake, yeah, Arizona.
Who was it? That CNN lady.
Dana Bash just outright asked her.
Yeah.
Are you going to accept the results of the election? Yeah, I'm going to win and I'm going to accept that result. Well, what if you lose? Are you going to accept that? She said, I'm going to win and I'm going to accept that. So in other words, I'm going to win.
John?
Period.
Does that sound familiar?
Yeah, it sounds like Donnie. Same thing. It's the same one all of these election deniers are saying. I'm going to win and that's it.
They all kiss his ass.
Dave, I'm coming to your house, buddy. If shit hits the fan, I'm coming to your house.
I'll be right behind you.
Hi, hello, America. Yes, you're all welcome. I won't give you my address yet because there may be too many of you and I haven't dug a hole in the ground. But listen, guys, I am just amazed. Look, as for your Civil War question, John, I put it there in chat. It'll be like what happened in Ireland, right? The Protestants and the Catholics. It'll be like that.
In the name of religion.
Yeah.
So if you just look at some of the history on video and how they've on the weekends their sport was soccer and killing each other. During the week they just went to work and blew up factories. But that's what it'd be like, and it's disgusting to think it'd be that way. But another thing that's amazed me, I've recently come across, is that you see that Trump has been charging your Secret Service 5 times the amount of the government rate.
Making that
money. You know what?
Tens
of millions.
Proud American that he is.
Ozzy, did you see the video of Trump Jr. Today? It was Eric. I can't remember if it was Trump Jr. or Eric, which one it was, but there was a video of him today they played on MSNBC where he said that they were saving the government a whole lot of money because the Civic service was not saying anything.
They were supplying rooms for nothing. We were giving free rooms. We were charging $200 a night, but they were charging $1,200 a night. The government rate for the room was $250. That was on the government rate, $250. Must add an agreement because they keep saying government rate was $250. $1,200 per man per night per room.
There would be a standard for what would be acceptable to pay for lodging.
Well, this is the oversight committee. This is the oversight committee. And the only reason it was discovered is because the leader of the oversight committee had changed. The previous oversight committee leader knew about it, but didn't want to do anything about it. The new guy comes in and says, hang on. And now we got on our way with another investigation. Another investigation.
Thank you, Bernadette.
Appointee?
I was going to say, whoever thought that this guy would be hanging on like a nightmare,
Oh, shit. Yeah. Everybody that knew him.
He's hanging on like when you get a long-haired dog and it does a poo, and you get those little dingleberries.
Hanging on like a hemorrhoid. Let's just be honest about it.
Tick on an Alabama bloodhound.
Need to cut the
No,
dog
it's disgusting.
Let me
I'm going to give you some of the world headlines or some of the world. Just take me 30 seconds just to let you know what the world's saying. I did say that I'm an international person. I'm going to give you international feelings and the world's thoughts. Good. Now, these are just one-liners from articles.
All right.
One article says, Trump carries on, no resistance. That's one article. Where is the justice? Another article. These are India, Asia, and Australia. Missing in action. Eric Garland, where are you? Trump in America. America fails to act. Is it too late? Has Trump done enough to take power? That was just some of the articles.
See, that gives you a sense of what the world is.
The world's scared. The world is scared.
Yes. Because they see what's going on here. They don't want that dumbass back in office because of the way he the way everything was going. Donnie did his best to break up NATO while he was in there. His buddies were Russia, South Korea, who's that? Victor Orban is up. That's the people he likes.
Hungary.
Yeah, that's the guy, Hungary, in Hungary. Yeah, that's who he is, and that's scary.
Yeah, right off the bat, John, that should tell you something. If they
tells
see
you who he wants to be
hanging on, well, they see him hanging around with dictators. That's what he wants to be. Why would anybody want to vote him back in?
Why? You just can look at him through his life, and to this day, everything is about him. Everything is about his glory. Look at the letter he just wrote to January 6th committee after they subpoenaed him. He included pictures of the crowd size. It tells you who he is. He's a narcissistic fool who is only concerned with his own glory. Everybody should worship the glorious leader. That's him. He's Kim Jong-un.
A South Korean podcast was talking, and they said one of their little lines was that that they're treating Trump has committed one of the worst crimes against his country, yet they're treating it like a parking ticket. And everyone got a laugh out of that.
Hey, I wanted to mention. Now, I'm not sure. I think the guy's name was Bob. I can't remember his last name, but they had it on. I think it was on MSNBC. Bob came out with an audio book.
Oh, Bob Woodward. Bob Woodward.
Bob Woodward.
Yes, Bob Woodward coming out. I am waiting for that one.
Interview.
So this is a new one?
It's going to come out next week.
It is not out yet.
You ought to hear the stuff that Trump said.
I've been listening. Right now I'm up to chapter 18. Out Like Flynn is the chapter I'm in Maggie Hagerman's book right now. And Out Like Flynn.
Do you have the first book from Bob Woodward? I have that on an audiobook, the first one he put out.
The Rage? Rage. This one is the Trump tapes. And it's like 18 hours of actual tapes. And we've already got a preview of one on the news talking about it because he's talking to Bob Woodward. about one of the love letters from Kim Jong-un, and he is giving it to Bob Woodward, and he's telling Bob Woodward, don't tell anybody I gave you this. You know, it's secret stuff. So don't tell him. What, are you going to take pictures of it? Are you going to photocopy it? Or he said, no, I'm just going to read it into a recorder. Let me send out a few thanks before we get carried away here. Ed Beatty Jr. came in 8 minutes ago. Bob, Ed, I'm sorry. With $5, said, working tonight and throughout this week, but I'm voting early in blue. Warnock and Abrams will win. From your mouth, buddy. That's what we need. I like the debate between Abrams and Kemp. I thought that was a good one. And Just Coggins came in with $5 and said, Donnie raved about the crowd size, but wait, wasn't January 6th done by Antifa and Black Lives Matter? It was the biggest group of Antifa and Black Lives. We came together on that day, and it is indeed the largest crowd of Democratic. Yeah. Thank you, Just Coggins.
Who's supposed to be an Antifa, John?
Huh?
Who is supposed to be an Antifa? What group?
I am.
You are? Are you an Antifa?
I am Antifa.
Yeah,
I am Antifa, baby. I am anti-fascist.
I am Antifa.
I am
I'm
proud
a blue
to
dog
say.
Detroit Democrat who will disappear you like Jimmy Hoffa if you mess with me. That's who I am.
Antifa is the
You know who else is
the
Antifa?
boogeyman for the right. You know, Black Lives Matter is the boogeyman for the right. You
Every
know,
allied
evidently, the Jewish faith is the boogeyman to the right. You know, that's what we've heard here lately. That's what Yee got in trouble for. Kanye West for his
What do you have
death.
to do to join, John? Antifa.
Be an American, baby. Be
Okay.
a proud
Support
American
the,
that
just
believes in
support the fact that
democracy.
you don't want to force. You just got to support the fact that you do not want corporations and rich people ruining your lives. Then
That's
you
right.
are
That's fascism.
That's what you have to do. Think it and support it, and you are it.
Oh, then I guess I'm it.
Well, how do you
Well,
join Q? How do you join Q?
Same way.
Become a cult member.
Become a cult
Yeah.
member.
You
Think it.
start with a lobotomy,
Yeah,
which is
That would
mandatory.
be helpful. That would be
Yes.
helpful.
I see you're an honorary member from Australia. You're one of our honorary members.
Well, I'm half American.
Oh, you're actually an American?
I'm half American.
Oh.
My dad
Okay.
was an American My father was an American serviceman.
He's
Oh, I
also
didn't know
he's
that.
bilingual too. He speaks Australian and English.
Yeah, mate.
Well, I speak two
Listen to
languages.
this. Hey, what about this, guys? The GOP is telling their people, don't vote early and don't vote by mail. What the
I
fuck?
think it's
Well,
gonna hurt
because that's the way they cheat. They're going to get rid of
They're
your
trying
vote.
to flood the ballots on the day of.
Oh yeah, or
Let 'em.
after.
I-
they'll sit
I-
How
down.
messaged
how
them.
is everyone? How
I
is
have-
everyone going to vote on the same day in America? How?
That's what they're trying
have a
to do. They're trying to
message
break
for-
the system.
I have a message for all GOP voters. The November election
Right.
is fake.
It is.
If you vote in the November election, GOP, your votes will not be counted. You have to vote in December. Remember, GOP voters, votes won't
Right.
be counted if you vote in November.
Read
heard
that
it here.
Repeat that again.
There is no
Yeah.
sense in going to the polls and voting because it's all rigged and it won't count anyway. So to all
There
you
was
Republicans
supposed to
out
be
there,
a
just
message or
yeah,
tweet or something out
Stay home.
supporting Trump in the last couple of days. Does anybody know anything about that?
who is supporting
Who
Trump?
what?
There was supposed to be a QAnon communique. I don't know where it was.
Oh,
Came out
yeah.
supporting Trump in the last couple of days.
That's surprising, isn't
Well, I've
it?
always supported Trump.
No,
Yeah.
it's not. But
Yeah,
that's what I read. I saw a picture of the text.
wonderful.
But what
wonderful.
do you think they're trying to do by Kanye West getting Parler, Trump having his own little lie session, and Elon Musk getting Twitter? All these three fascists. What do you think they're doing? They're trying to control the court
Don't
and public
forget
opinion.
CNN.
Well, CNN is not
CNN's
as bad
turning.
as we all thought it was. No, it didn't turn that badly. They are actually denigrating Trump. They are they're not as hard on all the GOP, but they are still hard on Trump. If you really look at CNN, it's not
Yeah,
what
they
it's not like
haven't
we
gone
thought it was.
completely under. No,
No,
they're
no,
still
they're
giving.
I don't
Fox.
watch them. I watch them very much.
There's
But
little-
I'm worried. I'm worried that they've got three of these Twitter type sites to control public opinion.
Parlor.
Kanye West is a fucking idiot. He's a fool. He's an anti-Semitic, racist bastard.
Oh, yes, he is.
And I call him racist because he's black, but he hates Asians.
He
hates
is
Asians.
racist.
He hates everybody.
Yes, he has a big problem. Evidently, he doesn't like Jews either.
No.
You know, that's what got him kicked off Twitter. Hey, let me thank Danny in Oak Park, who came in with $2 and said, "This is my Sunday and democracy is my religion."
Absolutely.
I like that. Democracy is my religion. That's good.
Hey,
Back
John.
to Kanye West. I read an article about this, and there's two takes on what's happening. One is that you're right; they're trying to shore up all this stuff, and the other one is that the investors. You know, the investors for the Truth, whatever it is, Truth Social.
They're losing money.
They pulled out.
Yeah,
they pulled out. Basically, so there's no money there. So there's two things on this: either Kanye's coming in to shore it up, or Kanye's
getting to sue to get paid,
and Kanye's getting to be the losing. What do you call it? He's the whipping dog, where they're going to stick it on him and still going to go bankrupt, and he's going to have to take the hit because they're trying to get rid of him before they go bankrupt.
I can understand why they're attacking the Jews, but the reason I can think of is that because the Jews in Israel are not worshiping Trump and the loyalty he deserves. He's been so good to the Jews when he was president, and now they're not giving him the loyalty and the support. So what do? Typical cult fashion, you publicly humiliate them. So they're trying to publicly destroy and humiliate the Jews. And this is why they want this website.
Dave, are you familiar with the Christian nationalists in the United States who believe that they have to go over and help all the Jews go back to Israel and rebuild the temple, and so they're putting all their money towards doing that? There's several.
Let's think that out in the Christian thing, because according to the Christian.
Well, okay, I'm just saying. Let's put it this way: it's looking at the Christians.
All the Jews have to die first for the Christians to win this game.
Help the Jews become back in Israel. Yeah. Okay. Well, here's the thing. What I'm trying to say is Trump supported those people. So maybe the people that Trump and Kanye are going after are Jewish people who didn't support that because Trump supported it. That's all I'm saying. I'm not trying to say anything bad against either religion.
My understanding is that the American Jews, he made that talk about American Jews. He said, "Well, you don't really appreciate."
Yeah, but they're not as appreciative to Donald Trump as Israeli Jews
are. Because he thinks that they should live in Israel.
Because he thinks all Jewish people in Israel are right wing, and none of them are liberal. That's what Donnie thinks.
I'm pleased to announce the Australian government. I don't know if you've noticed, and if it's been in your news, but the Australian government has reversed our previous Prime Minister's deal with Trump to support the moving of the capital of Israel.
That didn't already happen?
West Jerusalem, Trump named as where the embassy is going to be, and it turned out, the Australian government's torn it up and said, no, we're in support of East Israel, East Jerusalem, and we recognise the history. And because our previous guy was very right. And when Trump rang him, we all knew in Australia, this is not good. And what it was obviously about, I want support from you in the Israeli thing. Well,
I don't know what Trump's religion is, but there was a picture of him kissing the Wailing Wall.
What? You don't know what Trump's religion is? I thought everybody knew by now.
John, I
don't want to step into
religion again because I get yelled at it.
Trump's religion is money. That is Trump's religion.
But why was he kissing the Wailing Wall?
For looks.
I'm a kissing the Wailing Wall.
For act. To act, yeah. Look here.
Well, John, whatever is convenient for him at the moment, that's the religion.
That's what it will be.
As long as they support him, yep.
Indeed.
Okay.
And let me thank Keith Thompson.
The disturbing thing. Sorry, John. I'll just get this one in quickly.
Go ahead.
The disturbing thing with Parler is, if you are a member and joining Parler just to have a look and then quitting is not a bad thing. I did this, but the links to some of the sites are so Nazi, so left.
Oh man, they say they're bad. They say it's really bad over there, and yeah, it should be concerning. But I don't think the numbers are there. Like David was explaining, the percentages of who's who in this country, and when you narrow it down, these whack job Trump cult is a very small percentage. Can they do damage? Oh yeah. Look,
Oh yes.
They're not all idiots. They have some ability. Look at Steve Bannon. Michael Flynn was a fucking general. They got some people
we should
that
talk
have.
about Bannon.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
Bannon's
But we should talk about Bannon when you're done.
Let me thank Keith Thompson, who came back in with $5 and said, Antifa, why we fought D-Day, Tuesday, June 6, 1944. Here we go again. If we have to, because fascists are trying to get back into power. That's what Donnie is.
There's a guy, I think his name is Gene Kirshner. Is that the right first name? He's like an attorney or something.
Glenn
Kirshner.
Glenn Kirshner.
Not Jared.
His,
Glenn Kirshner.
Video on Steve Bannon's sentencing.
No, I haven't seen it.
He said that, he went into the idea, and we all know this, I'm pretty sure, that sentences can run concurrently or in sequence.
Consecutive.
Okay, and he went into what he thought might happen with the sentencing of Bannon and whether they'd ask for consecutive or sequential sentences. And he said that he was pulling for having him spend 6 months and then another 6 months after that, one for one count and one for the other count. That's what he said he wants. Yeah.
The government should hold him up as an example because of his defiance, his outright his onslaught against the system.
John.
They should make an example of him.
Yeah,
they could give him up to 2 years.
Give him the maximum that the law is allowed to give him.
Well, he's still
I'd like to see him get 2 years.
That's what kills you.
He still is to this day.
He's still defiant.
He's still throwing a finger up in our face. So
yeah, he doesn't give a shit.
What do we got laws for, baby?
I'm not a judge, but he's lucky he's not coming before me. I might do some more than just sentence.
Oh my God, he'd have more than 6 months. That's for sure.
That's right.
If he came in front of me and I
you've got to
I wouldn't be a judge for long. Let's just say.
Me either.
You've got to take comfort in the fact
I'd be a hanging judge.
History will show these people as bad people. I mean, when they pass away, these people, everything they've done and everything that their beliefs and their possessions are gone through by family, it all comes out and they're exposed for what they are. You can't keep it hidden. Once you're dead, you lose control of your reputation. And so all these people are going to be written down in history from Trump down to all his sycophants as something America went through that was
anti-American pukes in my book. I don't know if you're still hanging on to Trump at this time.
Arnold.
If you're showing up at that rally right now, after what you should know right now, because you should have been listening to January 6th committee hearings, and every one of those people speaking there were Republican. There was no other people up there on the witness stand. These are all Republicans telling you what he did. So if you're still supporting him no. Anti-American fucking pukes. That's what I think of.
Yeah, well, they'll say, they're trying to save their ass, so they're lying.
For what? What are they worshiping him for? What does he represent except a grift?
You know what, John?
What's that?
We're living in the 21st century, and I never dreamed that we have to be dealing with an asshole like Trump. I mean, think about it now. I mean, we're, a lot of us are up in age, we're not getting any younger. And I was hoping that maybe we could have a few years of peace where we do have Democrats in control. But these assholes keep popping up, and Trump wants to get back in. If he can get
John I. Fly, he is and has been an untreated cancer in America. And when I say untreated, unattended by the law. And so he's been an untreated cancer by America for decades, and now he's come malignant and metastasized the country. Just think of it like that.
It is spread across this country.
That is good.
And
it's in every state
we have a whole lot of chumps in this country. Because that's what you have to be to follow this man anymore.
Did you see the statistics that came out?
You're just a chump. Huh?
The statistics, I can't talk. Statistics just came out this week, and over the last 5 years, the ACT scores for high school students have been going down.
Fallen, yes.
Yeah, and this year they're at the lowest ever.
I think we could turn our attention to more important things in this country. But
well, that may be why we've got a lot of people out there that are not smart enough to see what Trump's doing, because their ACT scores aren't.
Some of these people are old enough to know better. That's not an excuse.
They'll blame
this is not
Biden and the Democrats.
This is not a difficult thing to understand here. That's what bothers me. This is not hard to understand.
John, they'll blame Biden and the Democrats. Oh, they're doing something wrong. But you know, the thing is, they're so quick. Oh, it's campaign season. But they'll sit there and say, oh, the Democrats, what have they done since they got in power?
Oh, let us tell you the list of the shit he's got. Infrastructure. Let me see. We got the PAC Act. We got
CHIP Act.
The CHIP Act. Yeah, I'm having a hard time pulling them up. There's a list of them that he's done.
Rescue Act.
And what is today? He comes out with a speech and he damn well tells everybody.
Did you know your Biden border security has how can I put it? Your Biden border security has stopped. That's better. 10 tons more drugs getting over the border in this 2 years, and Trump stopped in the whole 4 years. So, as for border control, it's working much better. Much more acquisitions.
What was Donald Trump's most prestigious accomplishment during his term? What was his number one legislation?
Tax cut for the rich.
It was a tax cut for the rich. For the wealthy.
Yeah, the tax.
95% of that tax cut went to the top 1%, baby.
Well,
which is a relatively small list of people that benefited greatly. And let me talk about people benefiting. Thank Danny in Oak Park came back again with $2 and said Herschel Walker is up there looking like Paw Patrol. He's looking pretty stupid. I'm telling you, it's an embarrassment to
I've watched Paw Patrol.
Georgia.
That's pretty low.
For him to even be up there, to have the number he even has, is an embarrassment to Georgia, and it demonstrates what the Republicans are willing to accept. Go ahead, Johnny.
I want to mention, John. Did you see today? Voting now, early voting in Georgia was at over
record.
133,000.
I thought they said something about it was record voting today.
Keep it up.
Yes.
Yes.
You think that's Republicans getting out there doing that? No.
No.
That's motivated Democrats saying, I can't wait to get in there.
They were told not to.
I want to do my shit. That's what I am.
That's right.
I'm thinking I'm going to go down to the courthouse and just walk in there and do my thing.
Alexa, mute the receiver. Sorry, my TV just came on without it. I didn't know it was going to come on.
I heard a woman's voice, and now I was looking at my thing going, wait a minute.
It just popped on. I don't know what happened. Anyway, I got rid of it. Sorry.
Hello, Valerie Wood. I see you in there, darling. Tracy Tobias, I see you. Anyway.
Do Americans feel that Garland will actually act on Trump, or do you think that Garland's going to let it slide through to another state to do something? Because the world feels like, and I do especially, feel that Garland's heart's not in it, because he doesn't want to be the first AG that does something like this to an ex-president. He's very moderate, and it's concerning. And also with a lot of Trump
backed into a corner.
I don't think so, Dave.
He's backed into a corner.
I think he is a patriotic American. I think he's diligent in his work. He's always been like that. He doesn't tip his hand to anything. He keeps all the cards close to his vest. I think he's working on it. I don't see any other option that the Department of Justice has rather than to indict him after the evidence that has come through, and a lot that we haven't even seen yet. At what point?
That's
either
one reason
you
he may
either
be
pursue
moving.
it, or you admit to the country that our justice system only applies to the typical system and not to those that are in power. Senators,
one reason he's moving slow is the complexity, John.
Huh?
The indictment is going to be so complex. That's one of the reasons he's moving slow. He's going to make sure he gets it all right.
Let me put it this way: the taking of the documents and negotiating with the government to get them back is so serious. I mean, you've got 2 in 1 there.
You've got
the crime of taking the documents, and you've got the crime of holding them back. He should have been arrested now and being interviewed in an interview room, saying, "Where's the documents?" Like any other person would be. Interviewed.
I agree, but right
under
now,
pressure.
You don't want to do that because, and it's true,
the election.
You would set the right off and they'd all go running to the polls. We don't want to do anything until after the voting. and let's don't give them they've done it before. That was what Comey did to Hillary Clinton right before the fucking vote.
Yeah.
You can't
Don't
have that appearance that justice is.
She would have won.
Yes, I think so.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Well,
John.
She should have won, and we wouldn't be in the position we're in today. What's that, Dave?
Didn't she get 3 million more votes than Don?
Yes,
I believe so.
but that doesn't count.
It was
It's where the votes are.
Clinton, that was
we have to go through the electoral college because we're all so dumb.
Stupid.
Yeah,
That's another subject altogether, isn't it? That's stupid
Yes,
voting
because
system.
they thought that the rural population back in 17, whenever, it was so dumb and so uneducated that they had to elect educated gentlemen to send as their electors. That's where it came from.
Well, they made a doozy of a pick here, didn't they?
Oh, yeah, they've bit us in
were,
the ass ever since.
they were claiming that some states are smaller than others and they won't be represented at all, or they won't be represented properly.
Oh, yeah.
Something along those lines, you know.
Yeah, no.
It was a compromise made for slave states.
Yeah.
What's that, David?
It was a compromise made for slave states.
Right.
Yes,
Slaves,
it was.
the population at the time, being a lot of them slaves, couldn't vote until they started negotiating that away.
Right.
Yeah.
And
But,
when was that,
they-
David?
Go ahead, David.
That was
Here, I'm
back
just
in
saying,
18.
when it was founded, when electoral college was established, it was directly to protect the smaller slave states, the smaller population of slave states. And that's who
who
it
set up
benefited.
the college, Dave? Who set up the college? Who selected the members, or how it runs and how it works, or the mechanics of it? Was it the wealthy? Was it the government? Or was it the people?
It was the landed gentry, wasn't it, John? You have to own land to do any of that, didn't you?
Back in those days, early days, you did. But I think what Dave is asking is how do they determine the electors themselves? Like,
Yeah,
you understand the electoral college, they
Yeah.
get so many electors per population, and then those electors are selected in the state by
Yeah, they
the
have like
parties.
what do you call it? A referendum. No, they get together as like a meeting where they have
Well, there'll be
delegates
so
there.
many.
The delegates
There'll be
select
so many Republican
electors.
the electors, or so many Republican electors, and depends on
Right.
who wins the vote. Those are the electors that go.
Well, John,
And they can split in some states.
Wouldn't you rather have the straight number
Yes.
of vote wins? Would you guys like that?
I'm all for the
One with the
popular.
most
I'm all
votes.
for the popular vote.
Popular vote.
The
yeah.
popular vote. I don't much like the electoral college because it's not representative. I mean, the reason it is because they're afraid people in Iowa or Nebraska are going to be diluted. Their vote won't count because look at the population of California or New York or something. So it's there to equalize out the power of the vote. And
But John, if I'm not mistaken, wasn't the electoral college, wasn't that specified by the Constitution
I believe
somewhere?
so. Don't
Yeah,
quote me on
they
that one.
spell it
I don't
out,
know, but I think
Yeah,
it is.
I'm not sure what part.
Yes.
Yeah.
We'll have to amend the Constitution to get rid of it.
It would be
Yeah,
difficult to do. It would be
Yeah.
difficult.
Sad.
But you can understand how the electoral college works, but it doesn't always represent the will of the people because, as in Al Gore got more votes. Doesn't matter, it's who
Yeah, he
wins the
got-
electoral college, and that's the way it's been. But I'd
Hey,
just as soon see the
Mark-
electoral college go by the wayside, and it just be the popular vote of the will of the people. That's a true
You know,
democracy.
John, I just a little bit different here. The subject. I saw some man. I didn't get his name. He was a gay black man on MSNBC tonight. They were interviewing, and he was saying what we've all been saying. How is it that if you or I did some of the crimes that Trump did, and we were subpoenaed, and we just said no, how quick do you think it would be in jail? But Trump can do it.
Me
get
and
away
you
with it.
would
He
be in
kept
jail
saying,
real fast, Johnny.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
How
don't
the
have
hell can
lawyers,
he
buddy.
do that?
We're not wealthy
Is
enough
it
to have
money?
very expensive lawyers who will stack the court up with so many objections or
Oh yeah.
lawsuits that just as the
Well,
wheels
he's
of
gotta
justice
run
turn
out of
very
luck.
slowly
We
for
are a
those with power.
litigious society. They say
He's
we
gotta-
are a litigious society. We over legislate.
Well,
And then the
he's
lawyers have
gotta
all kinds of fun with it.
he's gotta run out of luck pretty somehow soon. Don't you think? It can't go on forever.
Sooner the better.
I-
The sooner the better, but no, it can't go on forever.
Yeah.
There has to be an end point to this, and that's what we're all holding our breath for. And I think Merrick Garland is gonna wait till after the midterms are done, and then I think
That's
we're
what I
gonna
think,
start
too.
seeing more action out of the Department of Justice
I hope
towards
so.
him. But they
The
say
AG
the most possible the first indictment could come out of Fulton County, Georgia,
Right.
against
In
against
December,
Trump.
is what
Yeah.
they said.
Well,
In
now,
December.
God
And I think
forbid,
that they're
God-
gonna do several people that were just on my mind a second ago,
well,
but they're
John,
gonna
And John, do you
forbid.
realise after
Giuliani's
the
going to be done. I
midterms,
mean, he's
Oh,
already
one at a time now.
going
Do
to
you
be
realise-
indicted.
Go ahead, Dave.
do you realise after the midterms, the shit fight that's going to be going on? There'll be so much
I have been saying it for a
distraction.
while.
There'll be no time to charge them.
I've been saying
Yeah,
it for
We
a
might
while.
charge him
We've had
undercover
a
of that
lull.
distraction.
We've had a lull. You wait until after the midterm, shit is going to hit the fan.
Well, John, God forbid.
What is
God
that
forbid
Bannon
the-
said? It's not going to be what you think it
And
is.
then he's going to
Yeah.
And then he's going to charge Trump after the midterms when there's already chaos going on.
Hello,
They have
Bear.
lost and lost.
I'm sorry, I had to yell out to my
Well,
friend
John,
Bear.
They're going to act the flames.
I just want to say, what happens, God forbid, if the Republicans would take over the House or the Senate or whatever, but just supposing that happens. The Justice Department should still be able to carry out its work, right? The Republicans
Yes, the
can't do
Justice
anything.
Department will carry on, but if the Republicans take the House, get ready for impeachment city, get ready for Benghazi all over again. We're going to see a lot of superfluous bullshit that the House is going to do. It is
How much is
imperative
that?
that we hold on to the Senate.
margin.
Well, how much
They're
do you
going to
think will get
weaponize.
done?
They're going to weaponize. They're going to
That's exactly what
weaponize
we do. They're going to
Yeah.
weaponize the House.
And
everything.
how much
Everything.
work do
They're
you
going to
think they'll
impeach
get done
Biden.
if
They're
the
going to impeach
Republicans get in?
Harris.
Well,
If they
right.
only take it by 1 or 2 seats, though, they're going to have trouble. The Democrats
they
still
would
have.
have
I
trouble.
can't remember what it's called, but they can.
They would have to take it by a larger majority, but they're trying, baby.
Exactly.
They're
Yeah, what do they
trying.
call that, John? A
A
supermajority.
supermajority.
Isn't that what it's called?
If they got a
if they
supermajority.
don't have enough.
But it's happened in the past. So
You're
we
talking
can't.
about the McCarthy trials,
Well, the thing
and this
is,
would be
too,
essentially what it would be Senate hearings like the McCarthy trials. If you've ever watched videos of those,
Oh God, that was horrible.
no,
but the thing is, what they'll if they get in and they start nitpicking about Biden's son's laptop and all that garbage.
Hunter
How
Biden's
much-
laptop.
How much do you think they're going to get done? Now, when they were in the last time with Trump, what the hell do they get done other than giving the tax?
If the
break?
Republicans
They don't have
take
to
the
get
House,
anything
you
done.
bet your ass Hunter's
Right.
laptop is going to be a prime subject matter over there.
Right, so it'll be a circus all over again.
Hunter,
They'll get nothing
there's a
done.
thing
Then they'll
called a
blame the
sledgehammer.
Democrats.
If you hit the hard drive with a sledgehammer, nobody can read anything.
Irish,
see,
Take
Irish
my
is-
word, or I've done it.
Irish Giselle,
Yeah.
I didn't hear all of the speech yet, but I did hear part of it. But part of it, Irish, was that he said that if we take the Senate, he was going to work to codify Roe v. Wade across the
That's
country.
what he said today.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's what he said
Yeah.
today, baby. We need to take the Senate.
Well,
There's 34 out of 100 seats up. We
Well,
need
John-
to make an impact, baby.
Well, hopefully we'll take the Senate because what the Republicans will do, they'll tie up everything, like with the Hunter Biden stuff and all that bullshit. And then
That'd be
when
in
it
the
turns
House.
up, they'll sit there. Yeah, what'll happen is when it turns over, they'll say, look, they'll blame it on the Democrats. So look, they didn't accomplish anything. Well, hell, I guess not because the Republicans held us up. That's what they did when Trump was in. Right?
Yeah.
Well, let me tell you this. Biden just released, not Biden, CNN announced it, but Biden had, without making grandiose decrees and getting on there and bragging about it, he's just taken another $500 billion off your national debt. Almost
good.
$2 trillion he's taken off your national
Go
debt.
figure.
Yeah, but
That's what Democrats do. That's what Democrats do. Let me see. I just saw it.
And when the Republicans, when Trump gave the tax cuts to the rich, he added to the deficit. So figure that one out. They don't,
There,
they blame it on the Democrats all the time.
there is a second thing going on that most people don't understand with that tax cut, Ossie. That is that in 10 years, those tax cuts, those small tax cuts that he gave to the lower income wage earners, they're going to go away.
Yeah,
but they're not going to go away for the rich.
Nope. Let me throw this out there real quick because it relates to what I listened to earlier. Let the Sun Shine Through put a post out that said Michael Moore's posts all indicate his firm belief we can do this and we will. Let the sun shine in. I'm glad you said that because I listened to some of his podcasts today. And if you go to listen to him, he's predicting that the Democrats are going to rise up, baby.
Well, I hope he's right. He predicted Hillary was going to lose, and she did.
Yeah, well, who would have expected it?
Because
who in the hell predicted Donald Trump was going to win that election? Fucking nobody.
I don't know.
Including Donald Trump. Donald Trump did not think he was going to win. That was such an unexpected result from everybody. Nobody expected that much hatred to be in America, but it was. And it crawled out from under its disgusting little rock through the sludge that it lives in and got to the polls and voted. And we have to counter that. So, yeah.
You know what's happened with Trump? When he was president, right, he had a taste of real power and real respect and was treated like a god wherever he went.
Where did the respect come from?
Was that you, Bernadette, that sent that to me? Somebody sent me Michael Moore's podcast, and I think it was Bernadette. Yeah. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
He's out in the audience there.
He wants that.
Yes, it was.
He wants that power. He wants that power and respect constantly now. He's addicted to it. He's become addicted. It's like a fentanyl to him. The yes, Mr. President, whatever, Mr. President, lick your ass, Mr. President. And he loved it, and he wants it.
He wants it all. He wants it all.
I can see that. Power does addict.
Our democracy survives only because of the participation of its citizens. That's it.
It's too bad Asgard isn't here. He could give us a research study that would support what you're saying.
I'm sure he could.
I miss that guy.
Oh, well, have you checked in on him?
No, I've been busy with some personal stuff, John, which I'll tell you about later.
Well, you're starting your podcast up, your YouTube. Is it YouTube?
Well,
it's YouTube,
I've got, I don't know, 8 or 10 or 12 videos out there right now, but that too, plus some other personal problems I've been dealing with. So it's I've been kind of
I can relate, brother. There is a never-ending list of shit John has to do, and it seems I never get it. You know, every time you take something off the list, somebody's writing something on the list. It's one of those deals. So,
Bernadette, look at the audience, love. Get your hand in there and hit the accept button. You're on the chat there, doing a great job in the chat.
She's doing a great job. She always does. I rely on her so much. Yeah,
she needs to get her
voice. Just her being in the audience and on the chat is enough to calm my nerves a bit. Bernadette does a lot for this show. I want the Blue Dot family to know that she does.
She's our bulldog. She's our bulldog.
Yeah, that plus occasionally she keeps John in line. So that's good. Helps John
she keeps everyone in line, mate.
Huh?
She keeps everyone in line.
She does. She does.
She's our sheriff.
She is passionate about what she speaks. And we should all be. We should all be passionate about this democracy.
She's gone through hell.
She has. She has indeed. And not everybody knows all the stories of any of us.
We all have our reasons.
Most of us have traveled a pretty rough road. I don't think anybody skated here easily. I am so enjoying Carolyn Medjesco's stories of her life. And it's interesting to see the trials and tribulations that every one of us has gone through. And yet here we are. We made it through some shit before. We're going to make it through this shit.
Well, all we all seem to be of a balanced, level-headed bunch of people. Some of us with more.
Yeah, all of us except that Johnny Fly
anxiety than
fellow. But
others.
what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
We're trying.
Well, you keep
we're
leaving
trying.
the fire screen.
Hey, I
leaving the
sat
fire
at the
screen
loser
open.
table in high school. I
What
was
was
at
that,
the
Matt?
loser table. In
Huh?
high school, I had to sit at the loser table.
Did you?
Why?
Yeah,
I wasn't at a table.
because I was a nerd, kind of. I
Wasn't there.
I wasn't in with all the football players and cheerleaders and all that stuff.
Very
So,
few of us.
we've all
Very
gone
few
through
of us
trials,
would have
right?
been anyway. It's
Yes.
life is taking each one of us down a different path.
Oh, yeah.
I think for the majority of us listening and to those out in our Blue Dot family, the road that we traveled has given us empathy. And I think that's why we're all Democrats. I think that's why we want to see life better for all Americans and not just the wealthy ones. Throw some crumbs down here for the society that is building your ass up. And I think it is because of the trials that we have all been through in our life. It makes us empathetic to other people's plight. And I think that's at the heart of what a Democrat is, that we actually care about the society as a whole.
Have you ever noticed that, John?
Huh?
Have you ever noticed that when the Republicans are in there, and then Trumpy's got that sour puss on him, the lips are down.
Every time a
very
Republican
stern.
goes in, things turn to shit. And then it takes a Democrat to come along and try to clean the mess up, and this is no different. We didn't go all of a sudden into an economic downcline because Biden was elected one day. No.
Yeah.
This shit was set up for the last 4 years. Go ahead.
Dave, I was just going to say that I saw a picture of Trump on Twitter in the last couple of days, and it's a picture of an angel with Trump's face, or an angel sitting over Trump. And if I don't know if you
I feel sick.
It's Manson's face, Charles Manson's face. That is actually who it is. I stood on the street in San Francisco and looked the man in the eye while he was telling me about Helter Skelter. I met the guy, and he told me all about what Helter Skelter was going to be.
You met a lot of people. Yeah.
Well, I'm a hippie that lived in the 60s and the Summer of Love and all that on Haight Street.
He's
but anyway,
an old hippie who's laughing.
Yeah, that's
Thank
me.
God you never.
But that's why I recognize the picture.
Nonsense.
That's why I recognize the picture.
Right.
I know that's Manson's picture.
Have you ever noticed?
Hello, Keith.
Hi, Keith.
Hey, what's up, John? What's up, family? Hey, have you ever noticed that the pictures of Donnie and Rudy and DeSantis, how their mouth is curved down?
Yeah.
They
don't have smiles. They are always.
What do they got to smile about?
Look.
Everything to the Republican is gloom and doom. The whole country's going to hell in a handbasket. We have to do something like me, and I'll fix it all. Yeah.
Well, John, hey, everybody, they're gloomy and doomy like that, and they want us all to be that way, and it's not going to happen. By the way, I wanted to ask Keith, do you have any snow up there, Keith?
Hey, Keith, got any snow? Jesus.
It's on the way.
Which snow do you talk? Which snow are you talking about, Johnny?
Is it going to rain anywhere anytime soon? We got red flags out here.
It's cold enough for snow down here. It was 49 degrees this morning. That's snow to me. That's winter.
But we've got red flags out. It's so dry they're afraid of wildfires.
What's the temperature though?
The temperature was 58 today.
Well, you're in California.
Okay.
No, I'm in Missouri right now. In Michigan,
it is 64 degrees right now in Escondidas, Texas.
Well, if a fire starts at those temperatures, if a fire starts at those temperatures, someone's lit the fire. That's what you'll know from this.
That's exactly what the red flag is for. The red flag signifies you do not burn outside. That's what it's for.
It's supposed to go into the 40s tonight. It's cool. We got this cold front that came through.
Y'all know that? Y'all remember the other day when I told you that we'd had the fire department at my house next door twice in one day?
Yes.
Yeah, I remember that.
Really?
You know that?
Yeah, what happened?
It's still smoking, and we've had rain. We had rain, and that pit is still smoking.
Underground fire.
Yeah. It's something under there burning.
Hey,
and it ain't going to go out.
Hey, did you ever?
It must be cold down there, John.
What's that?
It must be a cold stream.
It's 64 degrees right now. And for Texans, South Texans, that's winter.
Not the temperature, the fire. The fire that's burning.
What about it?
It must be coal. There must be coal down deep underground.
Well,
yeah.
It can happen with peat too, Dave.
Well,
peat will burn for
They
years.
got a good-sized log down there, buried under there. It would take a lot to put the coals of something like that.
Hey, John, did you ever hear of Centralia, PA?
I'm sorry, say that again.
Have you?
Is that the one that had the big fire?
Wait.
Yeah, Centralia.
I heard of it.
Wait a minute, I can't hear it.
I don't remember it, but I heard of it.
Centralia.
Centralia.
Have you ever heard of it?
No.
Yeah.
What year? What year, John?
Oh my God, that's since the '60s, I believe. What happened was they
And
had
I'm
a
supposed
garbage dump up there.
Oh, is that the coal fire?
Yes.
Yes.
They accidentally set the garbage dump on fire, and there was a coal vein underneath all that garbage, and it burned too. And it caused the whole
yes,
vein.
now I know it.
Oh yeah.
It's still burning, isn't it?
Isn't it still burning?
As far as I know, it's burning, but it's not as bad as it was. But we
sounds
used to
like
go by
Vulcan vein in New Jersey.
Oh my God, you should have seen it when I was younger. My mom had to go through there. Now they closed 61 down. You have to go to another way. But when we had 61 open, we were going down the mountain. You could look over to the right and see the banks and holes in the bank of fire coming out and smoke and sulfur. You could smell sulfur all over. When I was a student pilot, I flew over Centralia. You could see the smoke all over coming up from the ground.
Well, we have peat fires in Michigan because of the peat bogs that have dried out, and a peat bog or a dried out peat bog will burn 3 to 4 years underground.
They would have to dig down with that coal fire, Johnny. That coal fire, they'd have to dig down at least 70 to 100 feet and flood it with water and hope that gets it. But some of those streams run down as far as 2,000 feet. And if it goes under your township, imagine if it goes under your township in winter, your town will be nice and warm in winter.
19,
all
Jeff.
That warm ground.
Jeff Curry's getting down to 19 tonight. Jeff.
Well,
you live up north, buddy. Woo, shit.
Yes, it would. It would melt, yes.
You know what happened, though, Dave?
What about, Johnny, what about the fire that's burning in, is it Afghanistan or Russia?
I'm just worried about the fire next door. That's the one I'm worried about right now.
Back in the 50s, they blew a big hole with a bomb or something, and it turned to be a gas, and it's been burning for decades. This big pit of gas fire that's, 500 meters round.
If we're talking about things that are going to burn forever, one word.
Well,
Chernobyl.
I tell you what,
Chernobyl.
John, what happened?
Yeah.
What happened was it was so bad. The government bought out all of Centralia. There's only like maybe 2 or 3 houses up there people are living in.
Keep that.
They closed the whole town down.
Keep that thought. Let me thank Old Bat with 2 cats who came in with a $20 donation and said, "How come nobody is calling out the energy and fuel companies for price gouging?" And fuck Trump. Exactly, baby. Why? Fascism, it's coming to America near you. Oil companies and gas companies can make all the profit they want. What the hell that comes out of your pocket? What does it matter? And boy, howdy, thank you very much to Leanne Geyer, who just came in with a $50 donation and said, "I will vote blue because I love my country and democracy."
John,
there it is, baby.
There have been four empires in the world that are based upon fuel controlling each of the empires. The Norse Empire was controlled by the forest. They had the wood, and they could sell the wood to other countries and various places. And when the British Empire came along and they had the coal, they replaced them, okay? And when the United States came along and we had the hydrocarbon fuels, we replaced them. The question is, what's going to replace us? I mean, I hope it's, like wind turbines.
You know what's going to replace us if we don't take care of this shit? Grass.
What? Nothing.
Grass.
Oh, okay. Cockroaches, they live on anything.
I just want to chime in, Leanne Geyers. I will vote blue because I love my country and democracy. Baby, that's the message I was trying to get out today on my video I put out earlier. Democracy survives because of the participation of its citizens. That's it. That's what our whole country is based on, is our participation in the system. It counts on it, as a matter of fact. It relies on it. It is crucial. Yeah.
Well, my question is, how many Americans really are taking this seriously? Because our democracy is so important in this election. I don't know how much people realize it, but it is.
It is. It isn't until we have a crisis that brings us all to awareness of what's going on. We saw
complacency.
Right. If everything's going fine, what to worry? But it's not going fine anymore. And there are a large percentage of this population that do not vote. Could give two shits, really, as long as life is good for them. They're just happily along their way. And you can't... Go ahead.
Can I follow up with Jonathan was saying?
Sure.
And what you're saying. John,
yes,
your message and thoughts need to be more exposed to the American public, like with Stephanie Miller or Tom Hartman. You need to get out.
You flatter me by putting my name in there with those names. I wish.
I agree.
Yeah,
I wish we have.
John, I have you in everything I do. I put that I'm a member of Blue Dot family, and I mention you in everything I do.
I appreciate that. I really do. I've been a fan of Stephanie Miller. Are you shitting me? That's the only woman I call mama, besides my wife. That's it. That's mama, and that's Stephanie Miller. I've been listening to her when W was in office, and I would just listen to her for hours. I called in one time, and I made an idiot out of myself, and I ain't called back. I called her baby.
Well, you see what that led to.
Oh, I called her baby, and I remember right now the words that she said. Oh, what did she say? She said, a southern voice with a little misogyny thrown in. Oh shit! And the minute that came out of her mouth, I sunk. I did and baby is a word that anybody knows me. And for years before I started this shit, that's right, baby. That's me. That's me. It's my way of putting my voice in there because I'm
gender neutral.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's gender neutral, baby. I don't give a shit if you're male or female. That's the way I talk. If I'm trying to get my point across. Yeah. And I use it quite often, but she wrote to me. She said I loved it, and there are times I sit there and listen to her still and think, go ahead, call it, and I just because I think of her pretty highly. I like her. Anyway,
she probably meant it as a compliment, John.
Oh well, yeah, she did later.
Probably
I guess. Yeah. I felt like an idiot. I froze.
Yeah,
I froze right up. It was years ago.
I've been watching Friday Night Lights, the football series about the team in Dillon, Texas.
Right.
And they really play up the Southern Texas hospitality. Somebody comes into your house, you immediately start to say, "Oh, well, can I give you lunch or can I give you dinner?" Or
shit, yeah.
Offering all kinds of hospitality to them.
Absolutely. A glass of tea if you're single.
I think
most people, and that crosses over political lines. Or it used
Can I just throw some politics in here? I've just gone through the latest
release. We don't talk about politics in here, buddy.
Okay, I've just gone through the latest release. And first headline: Special Master slams Trump, sick of Trump's nonsense. Next line, next headline: Trump attacks Special Master. Third line: Special Master attacks Trump. This is
Did they expect anything else? Special Master, the quote on the news earlier was, "Where's the beef? Where's the shit that's
the playground?
There ain't nothing here.
Get out there in the playground."
Yeah, where's the beef? What's your problem?
So Trump's cult does what cults do again. They publicly try and humiliate the man, and that's what they're doing because Trump's attacking him. My God, it's your own fucking Special Master you asked for.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, Trump's got to have the last word.
There you
now.
go.
Here it is.
And this is on CNN's headline on online. It says Special Master on Mar-a-Lago docks. Where's the beef? And it says Judge Deary's comments Tuesday and previous orders set a timeline for him to make a decision on the privacy of documents by mid-December. So, here's the rub. It is January. The new Congress will take over. Things change in January, but it will not change for the Department of Justice. That remains where it is, baby. It doesn't change with the politicians of midterms. But if we are going to see a pile of shit if the Republicans take the House. Huh?
Fair and Balanced, which is your shoot of Ring of Fire, just reports here that Trump's attorney is furious. He will not be charged or indicted before midterms. As a woman, I haven't clicked on it yet because I don't want to start reading it because I'm in the show. But
is that Trump's lawyer?
And yeah, it's a female, young female.
Yes, yeah, I seen a story about her. She has said she's not in good shape.
Yes, okay.
Huh?
You can report on that because I've just give you the headline. You've got the story there. Go for it. But
no, I don't.
I've just. Well, we know that this lawyer must be an ex-lawyer that's cooperating with DOJ, I suppose.
Yes.
Is furious that he's not being indicted. So everyone's putting their 2 cents in, but nothing's happening.
Read that headline again to me. I'm sorry, I got distracted. Put that in my head again.
Okay. Trump's attorney is furious.
Yes.
He will not be indicted before midterms.
The young lady that you're talking about, the young attorney you're talking about is the same one who signed the documents that said in August when before the DOJ filed the
here's her name, John.
She's the one that signed
Hubbard.
it, said this is all we got. We ain't got no more. And then when they did the raid, they found all the other shit. So she's in a bind. Right. She's an attorney. She signed a legal document saying this is all we have. Her defense now is saying, I didn't write that. Somebody else wrote it. I just signed it. Well, now, A, that's not a defense, and B, doesn't that make you look a little foolish? You're just going to sign something without reading it. She came from Arizona, this attorney, and she worked her way up to get to be his attorney by pushing the pom-poms because she came up from, I want to say Arizona, she proved herself to be a loyal Trump fan, and then they pulled her in to sign these documents and screwed her over. Let me thank Leanne Geyer, who came in with another $10 and said, Stephanie Miller rocks. Yes, she does. Yes, she does.
John?
I love the woman. Huh?
We asked the question earlier in this show, why do people stay with Trump? Well, I was just reading an article, and here's what it says. What's the difference between normal partisanship and a political cult? Experts say that the latter is scenario supporters hold their leader as infallible.
That's what they think Trump is. Buddy, haven't you seen the flag with Trump with the muscles so big holding some automatic weapon and the muscles just bulging? That's who they think he is. That's who they think Trump is.
If you listen to last week's the last show, DJ, I went on a little bit of a private rant for about 2 minutes describing the professional opinion of what a cult is. And
I remember that. Yeah,
and the people
I remember that.
Right? And thank you so much.
If you just type into Google cult, there's so much that comes up. But if you go for pictures, you'll get a photograph of Trump about halfway down.
Yeah, exactly. Well, one of the things about the Trump too is sociopath versus a psychopath. Trump is a true psychopath because he has no empathy. Sociopaths have empathy. That's
Trump has no empathy for anybody. Trump is only concerned about him, not his family even. Even his own shit takes precedent over his kids, over his wife. Well, the wife thing.
That's amazing.
It is to me.
At that age,
I would die for my kids.
You want to leave the world with the world thinking he was a good man, rather than leave the world thinking what they do with him now.
No, he's going to die thinking
I am trying very hard in the ends of my life to give an example to my kids that they can carry into their old age. That's what I'm trying to do.
Well, I can tell you right now, it ain't going to be wealth I'm leaving.
Huh?
I said, it ain't going to be money I'm leaving because I don't have any, so I'm not going to be leaving my kids any money. So, what else can you leave them, John, except what you built into them?
I just don't want them to have to pay for my grave. I don't want my kids to have to pay for my grave.
Well, there's always cremation.
What anybody thinks.
When I die,
Trump doesn't care what anybody thinks about him. He's worried about himself. That's it.
What?
I don't know.
New headline.
Country song?
New headline. Trump
Breaking
has
news.
demanded new judge. Trump has demanded new judge. Trump demands a judge to be replaced.
I demand. You want to know what they did?
Well, the 11th Circuit Court is...
That's what that is. Donnie's coming out whining again. It's going to be so pitiful. It's going to be heartbreaking, and we're all going to... Are you shitting me? Shut up. Somebody slap that guy.
Unbelievable.
That's what he's done all his life.
For us over here in the world, us in the real world, we're looking at you guys like it's a television soap opera.
Ain't that sad? Isn't that sad?
Where do you see those
we're kicking
headlines?
the screen. And we're kicking the screen saying, no, don't go in there, don't go in there. Look behind you, look behind you.
Yeah. It's like that TV commercial that you see on TV nowadays where the kids are running around crazy and the girl says, well, why don't we just jump in the running cart and leave? Are you kidding? Let's go hide behind the chainsaws. Yeah, that's you feel like you're in that kind of world. But I do. And thank you again, Bernadette, for sending me Michael Moore's podcast, because I do have that deep in my heart that, yeah, we can do this, baby. Not only we can do it in mass, and that's what it's going to take for us to turn this country around, to get it out of the shit pile that Donnie has created for us. And that is to stand up and do the right thing. Be involved in our politics. I don't give a shit if it's down to dog catcher. It affects you and your life. You want a dog catcher that's going to go kick the dog? No, I don't. I want to catch the dog nice. I want the dog adopted. I want the whole fairy tale run out. And it matters. It matters to every one of us how our lives are going to be, how our kids and our grandkids are going to survive. What kind of life they are going to have in the future is what we're fighting for now. Just like those that have come before us gave us what we have now. But there is a part of our country that is trying to tear that down in a way that I've never seen done before. With such vile hatred against democracy itself, willing to throw it all on a heap bin because of this guy, because of that liar and grifter and draft dodger.
He's
That's
infallible.
The guy. We can do better, baby. And
he looks untouchable to the world. To the world,
Yes.
he looks untouchable.
He isn't.
Because he keeps getting away with shit. That's exactly what the image that he has now. But it's gonna stop.
Eventually, he'll meet
It has
Waterloo.
to stop. Anyway,
But the foolish ones believe he's untouchable. But the reasoning is, well, if they haven't arrested or charged him all this, he must be right.
They must not have him. There must not be enough evidence to get him. No. Hang on to
Exactly.
bridges, baby. It's coming. It's coming.
John?
He must have a weak spot, John. He must have a weak spot.
Yeah.
He's got to have one, Johnny.
If it bleeds, you can kill it. If it bleeds, you can kill it.
Well,
That's right.
Yeah.
Let me thank.
I would like to build on that, but I'm not going to. I'm going to stay out of
Let me
one.
thank Keith Thompson, who is in the room with us here. Thank you, Keith, who came in with another $5 donation and says, why do the Trump lawyers need to have lawyers? Who is paying for the shit show? That's what MAGA stands for, Keith. Making attorneys get attorneys. That's what Donnie's done. Thank you, Keith.
Trump's paying for some of it out of his donated monies.
Yes, out of his political action committee money. You don't think he's going to pay for it, do you? Are you shitting
No
me?
way, he's not
He
gonna
ain't
pay
paying
for
for nothing. And that is the
That's running short.
That's one part
Are
about
you rolling credits yet?
Maggie Hagerman's book is chapter 18 now. Now, over the last several chapters, we're getting into things that you remember like it was yesterday. And it's like watching a horror movie saying, no, don't go behind the chainsaws. It's recent history. He's now elected. He's becoming president. He's selecting his staff. All this shit that's happening is now things that you readily remember from being in the news. So the book is getting much more. The first part of the book is interesting, but it's about his life growing up and what the fuck asshole he was when he was young. He's always been an asshole.
Is there some way we can ever take that presidency away from him like they do when they
Unfortunately, no. He's in the history books, baby. But
wow, I wish.
I think he ended up being more in history. He'll be in the history books for more than just being president. I think he's going to be the first president to be indicted and convicted for an insurrection. That's what should happen.
We have to realize also, guys, Trump will never ever be president. You got to understand that, so you can relax there. Trump will never be ever president again. He
Oh
will,
no!
You know, even
Not a snowball's chance in hell does he have. But he's going to grift off of it all the way up until 24 if he can.
Well, it's the influence he has over that party. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Hey, Dave,
Leander,
Cohen has a podcast
He's a bad seed to begin with.
Twitter.
And
what's
he
his name? Roy Cohen?
all his life. That's what you learn when you read about Trump. He's been that way his whole life. A grifter, getting other people to do the things that he wanted done.
Roy Cohen on his podcast said he doesn't think he's going to run again in 2024.
No, I don't think he's going to run. I think he's going to tease it. He might announce his presidency or his running, but he'll bow out. He won't make it.
He may want to pick the candidate.
He will not face another election where he will lose.
That would devastate him. That might be the best thing for us.
Well, if he did, it would be the same thing about, I lost, they cheated, let's rile the guns, let's go.
Yeah.
That kind of shit. And that's what we have to put down before it gets started. Anyway, I guess we'll wrap it up for the evening. I want to thank everybody for coming by and joining us. Keith, thank you for the donations. Thank you for coming in, brother. We appreciate it. Hoorah and Semper Fi, my Marine friend. And
Semper Fi.
Semper Fi.
Got the family back.
Outstanding, brother. We're with you.
Semper Fidelis.
And DJ, thank you, brother, for coming by. We always enjoy it.
I enjoy it too, very much. And I just wanted to say to the people out there, I voted and I voted blue.
There you go, baby. We're all going to be saying that pretty soon. I will. Johnny Fly, thank you, brother, for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
Enjoyed it.
Sorry about the microphone not being on.
Nah, that's all right.
Close.
Anytime we can't hear you, it's just our benefit. You know, I'm fucking with you. Thank you, brother.
It's better when you don't hear me, right?
Yeah, well, the tone sounds a little better, brother. Hey, I give you shit, you give me shit. That's the way it works. Anyway.
Hey, I like that.
That's right, buddy. That's the way we are. Thank you for being here. We appreciate it, though. And Ozzy, always a pleasure, buddy. Always a pleasure when you come into the room.
Thanks, man. Thanks a lot. That's good shit.
I want to keep your house happy. When they start tossing missiles around, I see shit. I'm coming to your house. I seen the map. Australia's going to be the place to be. But eventually, we all die down there too. So, just prolonging the inevitable.
Well, man, they did predict when the major so-called, every one of these major asteroids they've picked going to hit the Earth one day or has missed us. Australia and New Zealand have been the two countries have always, in their scenarios, avoided any damage.
Yeah.
The rest of the world suffered from shockwave, tidal wave.
From the nuclear war to the asteroids, Australia's a place to be. I'm thinking about it, brother.
Yeah, we're out the way. We're out the way. We're not in the firing line.
And they speak our language. Well, sort of.
Yeah,
There's a few of y'all, Dave, I have trouble understanding. I go, what the fuck did he say?
I'm a boy from Minnesota, okay? African American. What? Minnesota. I'm cold. Can I move to New Zealand?
I would if I was
Minnesota.
you. Yeah. Damn, Keith. To all of our dear Blue Dot friends who live up north. How y'all do that shit? It's cold up there, man. I'm telling you. Anyway, I love you all. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being a part of this family. To our Blue Dot family on Facebook, on YouTube, thank you for being here. Thank you for being in this conversation. I try to stay in it as much as I can. I see the conversation going on. And that is the best part of this whole thing. Not that y'all's conversation isn't great, but the conversation that always goes on in that chat just warms my heart. And I thought you was talking to me, Dwayne Twizzle. He said, old bat with many kitties, night. Are you shitting me? She ain't got enough kitties. I'll send her some more kitties. Are you shitting me? I got 6 now.
Can I just...
following me when I go out to my shop. Dancing around like they all know where they're going. Huh. Go ahead, Dave.
What I haven't read the article yet. I'm going to read it shortly. Is that TikTok is banned? David Pacman and Jesse Dollamore.
Really?
Don't know why. But yeah, that's the headline. I've posted it on the main discussion.
I'll check it out.
I don't know what it involves.
Yeah.
But Yeah, that's all it says. Is that it's got the photograph of the two guys there, and it says me and David Pakman have been banned by TikTok.
Are they African American?
No.
I don't know who they are. That's why I'm
No,
asking.
David Pakman.
They are
Pakman.
podcasters.
Yeah,
He's
Oh well,
white.
the thing
These
about it
guys
is that
these guys have 1.5 million viewers or followers, and the other guy has about 500,000 followers. So they're pretty
I don't know
recognized.
the guy's, what his handle is, but there was an African American on TikTok today, and he was talking about how when people get banned from TikTok, more than not, they're probably African American. He was raising hell with TikTok about it.
David Pakman.
Let's carry on.
yeah, he's a white guy.
Let's carry on with John's good night. We can all go down and read the article.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Holy
Sorry
shit.
I'm sorry to break in there, John, but kiss everyone good night and whatever.
Well,
Where is
his
he?
comment just made me look, and I have a problem, evidently, on TikTok. Because I put out a video earlier today, and I'm trying. You can see it on YouTube and on Facebook. I posted it on TikTok, and I just now looked.
What did they do to it?
It has 0 views. Now, mind you, yesterday had 4,000 something. Day before 19. Day before that 12,000 something. They evidently stopped that video. I don't know why.
Well, they stopped one of mine because I let the music play too long, and I guess I didn't.
I didn't have music. The only thing I said was that could have been questioned was saying something about when talking about the Civil War. What are they going to do? Just start going out and start shooting Democrats? It might have been the language.
Well, the owner of TikTok is conservative, from what I understand.
Well, there you go.
I'm looking at that, and it says 0 views, and that's just not. Yeah.
Well, something's going on with TikTok, guys, and we'll find out shortly, I'm sure.
Views? I don't think so, baby. Because right now, I just got a notification that somebody just liked my other, and on TikTok commented, yeah, I saw the article on Channel 6. My eyes rolled so back. I don't know what that's about. I get a lot of comments on TikTok. All of them
Starkey and I are in Facebook jail. Should we be trying to get into TikTok jail?
Well, you're not
evidently, I picked the lock and got in.
Yet.
So evidently, I am with 0 views on that.
If you want to be one of us good old boys, you got to get in both.
Evidently, I said something wrong. I'm sure they'll notify me something. We'll find out.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's go ahead and wrap it up, and wish all our Blue Dot family a very well good night. And we will be back here on Thursday night for another Blue Dot family meeting. And so please, come by and join us. I love you and thank you for being here. And try to put a smile on your face, baby. Even when the sun is not shining, try to let it shine in your heart, baby. Anyway, y'all say good night.
Good night.
Good night, guys.
Good night, everybody. We'll see y'all later.